What does it take to support a nation at war? In case of Ukraine, the answer is one of the largest foreign aid packages in recent American history. Since Russia's full-scale invasion in February 2022, the United States has committed to helping Ukraine defend itself. In this video, we'll break down the staggering numbers, explore where the money has gone, and examine how recent political shifts in the US have created new challenges for Ukraine's survival. You might be surprised to learn how this assistance is actually managed. First, let's talk about the total financial commitment. As of July 2025, the United States Congress has approved approximately $183 to $185 billion in total funding for Ukraine and related efforts. This incredible sum was passed through 5 major supplemental appropriation acts, with the most recent package of $61 billion approved in April 2024. So, how does this all work? When Congress allocates funding, it doesn't just write a single check to Ukraine. The funds are distributed to various US agencies based on their specific roles. For the emergency aid designated for Ukraine since 2022, the breakdown is as follows. The Department of Defense, or DoD, received the largest share at $123.9 billion. The US Agency for International Development, known as USAID, was allocated $39.9 billion. The State Department received $11.6 billion, and another $7.4 billion went to other agencies, including International Development Finance Corporation, the Department of Health and Human Services, the Treasury, and the Department of Energy. Now, let's look at the military assistance, which is the largest single component of USAID. As of early 2025, military aid to Ukraine totaled between $65.9 and $67.2 billion. This support has been delivered through 3 main channels. The first is the Presidential Drawdown Authority, or PDA. This allows the President to send weapons and equipment directly from US military stockpiles. The Biden administration utilized this authority 74 times, providing about $24.9 billion in equipment. The second channel is the Ukraine Security Assistance Initiative, or USAI. This program, which has provided approximately $13.8 billion through January 2025, funds the purchase of new weapons and equipment specifically for Ukraine. Finally, there is Foreign Military Financing, or FMF, which has contributed $1.6 billion. This provides grants and loans for Ukraine to buy US-made military gears. Between January 2020 and April 26, 2024, the United States assisted Ukraine with the military equipment and services displayed on the screen. Beyond the battlefield, the US has provided significant financial and humanitarian support. Approximately $34.8 billion has been allocated to Economic Support Fund. This money helps with budget support and governance programs, keeping the Ukrainian government functioning. An additional $22.6 billion has been provided for humanitarian assistance. This includes aid for refugees, support for democracy programs, and other essential civilian needs. Furthermore, $7.8 billion has been given in direct budget to support Ukraine, help Ukraine maintain government operations, and pay salaries for its public employees. The transition from Biden to the Trump administration has significantly impacted the flow of aid to Ukraine. Let's walk through the key events of 2025. In January, the Biden administration delivered its final military aid package, valued at $500 million, just before leaving the office. On January 20th, President Trump issued an executive order that paused all foreign assistance. This action initially brought most State Department and USAID programs in Ukraine to halt. Then in March, after a tense meeting between President Trump and Ukrainian President Zelensky, the US suspended military aid and intelligence sharing on the 3rd. However, this suspension was lifted just over a week later on March 11th, after Ukraine signaled it was open to ceasefire talks. More recently, in July 2025, the US once again stopped some weapon shipments. This time, the halt was due to concerns about the depletion of US military stockpiles, affecting the delivery of critical equipment like Patriot missiles and artillery shells.